Yo, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's good? Boxing Source checking in. And I wanted to talk about the report that came out earlier today. Shout out to Jake Donovan there from Boxing Team posting that the fight between Ryan Garcia and JoJo Diaz is scrapped because Ryan Garcia has suffered a hand injury. And so their fight that was scheduled for sometime in November. It's pretty much shot down now. It's kind of like one of those tough breaks, I guess, for Ryan Garcia. We hadn't necessarily seen Ryan Garcia in action since he had his win over Luke Campbell, where he got up from the canvas and was able to stop Luke Campbell. That was pretty much like in that first week of January of this year. And we hadn't had him involved in a fight since then. It looked like he was going to go up against JoJo Diaz, but with this hand injury, that kind of all but scraps that particular fight from happening. So, with that being said, the message is now JoJo Diaz should be able to step in the ring and face Devin Haney. That's right. If he is the supposed mandatory contender for the WBC Lightweight Championship, then he should be able to go in the ring against Devin Haney. Now, y'all saw that he was able to step into the ring and face Javier Fortuna, with Javier Fortuna holding that standing as the mandatory challenger or the top-ranked contender, so to speak, of the WBC Lightweight title held by Devin Haney. Now, after he defeated Javier Fortuna, that pretty much gave him that particular spot. So he should have been going up there against Devin Haney in the first place. And for some reason, it didn't necessarily happen. And so they ended up trying to have Golden Boy put together Ryan Garcia versus JoJo Diaz and try to have that as like a final eliminator of sorts or whatever it is. But now that fight isn't taking place, so JoJo Diaz should be able to face Devin Haney. And it's crazy to me because this is the same JoJo Diaz that when he was at 126 pounds, he was able to say, you know what? I got the mandatory spot for the WBC Featherweight Championship. Let me go and make the fight with Gary Russell Jr. And you know what? Gary Russell Jr. said, yeah, you know what? Yeah, shorty. Yeah, Slim. That's my guy, man. I'm sorry. I'm biased towards him. That's my guy. But yeah, Slim, you want to step up? Come on and step up. All right? And he went ahead and he had that fight with Gary Russell Jr. He ended up losing. But at least he was able to, go ahead and face Gary Russell Jr. Now, he has won a title at 130 pounds, the IBF title, of course. It was stripped due to him not making weight. So he ends up going up to 135. And now, here at 135, has his fight with Javier Fortuna, gets himself a high contender spot, pretty much a top contender spot for the WBC lightweight title. And for some reason, he isn't going in there against Devin Haney. That's pretty interesting. Given that Devin Haney, at least from my perspective, is kind of like the highest paid lightweight out there. And yes, that does include Gervonta Tank Davis. Depends on how much Tank Davis gets off of his pay-per-view revenues. But as far as like base salary is concerned, it looks like Devin Haney is the one that gets paid the most out of all of those lightweights. When you talk about Haney, you talk about Lopez, you talk about Tank, you talk about Lomachenko, you talk about Ryan Garcia, and all those other guys that are lightweight. It's Devin Haney that looks like he's pulling the most money out of what he does in the ring. So, with that being said, you would think that JoJo Diaz would probably want to go ahead and take that chance to fight Devin Haney, right? And make some good money, and you could possibly win the WBC belt. But for some reason, they didn't make that fight happen up to this particular point. But now with this injury to Ryan Garcia, it looks like there really isn't much of an option for JoJo Diaz but to face Devin Haney. Now the question is, will he do it? That is the question. We will find out here, I guess, soon enough. But the thing with Ryan Garcia, it's kind of like how things are sometimes when you're out in training or doing things in preparation. But I guess we'll see Ryan Garcia back sometime in 2022. But as far as like JoJo Diaz is concerned, he really should go ahead and have that fight with Devin Haney. Share your thoughts about this particular topic, and be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source if you haven't already. We would really appreciate it, and be able to catch the podcast that's available on iTunes or Anchor.fm or Google Podcasts. It's even on iHeartRadio or whatever you use to listen to your favorite podcast. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.